In a 4-game series in Chicago between the Rangers and the White Sox back in mid-May, Chicago's starting pitching dominated the headlines, taking advantage of a gaping hole to the Rangers lineup courtesy of the DL. Tonight, this AL West versus AL Central conflict continues. This time in Arlington, where Beltre and Elvis are back and looking to play a factor in a series that has revenge implications.
The Rangers are healthy and playing a lot better baseball lately. In fact, they have won 18 and lost 16 since that last meeting in Chicago 6 weeks ago. Healthy bodies, better play, and it's been fun lately. Welcome in, everybody. Great to be with you. I'm Dave Raymond alongside America's favorite baseball analyst, Tom Grieve. And the Rangers are playing a whole lot better baseball. You want to take it, make it a little more recent. They've won 9 of their last 11. Chu's hot. There are a lot of guys who are hot on this team right now.
Yeah, it's so much fun watching Sin-Shu Chu. And when you look at him in his 40-game on-base streak, you see all of his talents being displayed. He's a hitter who uses the whole field, from one foul line to the other. When you're having this kind of a streak, you have to have a little bit of luck and find some holes. He's got power. He also will take a walk. He's walked 37 times in his last 36 games. He's had a little bit of luck right there with a hit by pitch. All of his talents come into play when you see this kind of a streak. There's a couple of other Rangers with notable accomplishments. Adrian Beltre with 624 doubles, tied with Hank Aaron for 12th all-time. Keone Kela, the only closer with 20 or more saves and no blown saves. So a lot of Rangers are going good right now.
Yeah, as you would expect when they have won 9 of their last 11. So now they get a look again at the White Sox. Again, it's been 6 weeks. White Sox were not expected to play well this year. They haven't played well this year. They've lost 10 of their last 14 games lately, but that does not mean that they're without talent. Certainly Jose Abreu right at the top of the list of good players.
Yeah, Jose Abreu is a star. Most people in the American League, in the fandom of the American League, don't know a lot about this guy because he goes unnoticed. But here's a guy that has hit 300 with 31 home runs and 102 RBIs on average in his first 4 seasons. Against the Rangers, he's been exceptional. This year in a 4-game series, he hit over 400. Career-wise against Texas, he's hit 333, 7 home runs, knocked in 23 in only 28 games. He's also hit very well at Globe Life Park. He's hit over 360 in this ballpark.
All right, so they have some star power on the other side as well. A lot of bats really going well. But one guy's doing some special stuff defensively, and we put Delino in the spotlight when we come back. Rangers baseball is sponsored by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Beatles night tonight here at Globe Life Park. Post-game fireworks show set to the music of the Beatles. And some lucky fans even getting caps tonight. Welcome in. Time for our Shiner Box Spotlight. We're just talking about Delino DeShields and his defense.
It wasn't that long ago that Delino was a second baseman. It's taken him some time to transition, but he's there now. He's one of the more exciting outfielders in the American League. He goes back, he comes in, he dives. He's not afraid to give up his body. This was the most recent catch. Watch the timing and watch the willingness to go into the wall to make a play up over the wall. Playing outstanding in center field, getting better and better.
Well, he has been leading baseball among center fielders in runs saved, but look at this. 5- and 4-star catches. He has 12 of them so far this year. That's most in Major League Baseball. For a little perspective, Lewis Brinson and Billy Hamilton, they have 8. They're next closest. So the spectacular belongs to Delino DeShields. And for more on Delino and the great job he's been doing, let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, Dave, Delino says he realizes that his defense was a criticism of his game, and he's used that as motivation to get better in that center field position. You guys mentioned the fact that he wasn't that long ago that he was a second baseman. He said one of his biggest assets at second base was his ability to anticipate. He says he's taken that into the outfield. He feels like it's paying off, and he says that he visualizes plays before they happen, and you know, that extra motivation of people doubting him. He said he can't help but let that fuel his fire just a little bit more.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, and he's doing it right now, Em, no doubt about it.
Well, he's been spectacular, and hopefully will provide more great help behind Giovanni Gallardo today. Let's take a look at the lineup Gallardo will be dealing with from Chicago. The White Sox come in 28 and 52. Yoan Moncada, their second baseman, leads it off. Avisail Garcia, the right fielder, bats second. Jose Abreu, third. Then it's Polka, Smith, Garcia in the heart of things. Tim Anderson, Charlie Tilson, and Adam Engel rounded out.
And for Giovanni Gallardo, his pitch arsenal. A lot of two-seam fastballs. That's his sinker. Throws that 32% of the time. A lot of sliders. That's probably his strikeout pitch. He'll also throw a four-seam fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. A little bit of everything. He's a veteran pitcher. When he first came up, his first 5, 6, 7 years in the big leagues, he was more of a dominating kind of pitcher with a fastball in the mid-90s. He's transitioned to more of a finesse pitcher, and he'll need to use all his pitches and have good command to pitch the kind of game he wants to pitch. Let's take a look at the Ranger defense tonight, which is delivered by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Joey Gallo in left, Nomar in right, Delino DeShields is in center field. On the infield, Adrian Beltre is at third base. It's Elvis and Rugi up the middle. Jurickson Profar playing again tonight. It's at first base, and behind the plate is Robinson Chirinos.
Well, that has us ready tonight. Gallardo all set to go. The Rangers in the reds tonight. I do love this look. I think this is one of the better, maybe the best look that they trot out there. And so Gallardo all set to go. And here is Yoan Moncada. Moncada in with a .226 average, 10 home runs. And he takes ball one. This guy in the leadoff spot. There you see it, 113 strikeouts, second most in the American League. And he smashes this one high in the air to center field, but it's going to hang up there. Might even get blown down a little bit for DeShields, one away.
And second, right fielder, 46, Avisail Garcia.
98 degrees at game time. So another warm one. The Rangers
After this
continuing to step.
homestand, we'll probably have the 6 or 7 hottest game time temperatures thus far in baseball. There'll be some other teams catching up as we get through July and August, but right now the heat is in Texas.
Gallardo gets his first man. Now Avisail Garcia, and he throws strike one right down the middle. Garcia recently off the disabled list, and he has hit in all 6 games he has played since coming off the DL. Turns that one foul. But then you got to go back prior to going on the disabled list. He hit in the the 2 games going into the DL, so he's got a little 8-game hitting streak going. They went extra innings yesterday. Garcia went 2 for 6 in that one. And he takes high for ball 1. It's a free swinging White Sox team, very young and very much in that rebuild mode. And there's a swing and a miss. Garcia strikes out.
That looked like a cut fastball from Giovanni. Not quite a slider because it doesn't break quite as much and has a little bit more velocity. That pitch was 90 miles an hour. Perfectly located. And Garcia, who's had a little bit of a problem this year with his strikeouts, adds another one to the list.
Gets Abreu to the plate now. 3rd place hitter. And he takes strike 1. Good fastball there from Gallardo at 92. 12 homers, but 27 doubles, 2nd most in the American League. One got in on his hands and then fouls it right off his foot or his instep there. That one didn't feel good. 0-2.
See where that one does hit him. Yep, right off the foot. We mentioned earlier, Abreu is hit well against the Rangers, and he's hit very well in our ballpark. Driven in almost a run per game against the Rangers, and in this ballpark he's hit over 360. He's one of those power hitters that's very difficult to pitch to because he's not a wild swinger and he uses the whole field. He's got power to all fields. Coming into this season, in 4 years, his career batting average was over 300. So he's not just a power hitter, he's a good hitter.
Well, he's the guy you highlighted in the open, and for good reason. There he is at first base, the leading vote getter right now in the American League at first base. So an all-star in the true sense of the word, and he's got a pretty good lead right now at his position.
I think the fans are getting better and better as the years go on, picking the all-stars. It's not just a popularity contest with some stadiums stacking the ballot box. When you look at the American League leaders in the all-star voting, it's pretty hard to argue with any of those positions. You can make a case for other guys, but there aren't any guys that you say, boy, that guy shouldn't be there. And it's nice to see a guy like Abreu probably goes underreported get that kind of recognition.
Gallardo strikes him out. Back-to-back strikeouts. 2 in the top of the first. Very nice job by Giovanni. And now when we come back, Shin-Soo Choo tries to get it going for the Rangers with his 40-game streak on the line. Let's take a look at the Rangers starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Shin-Soo Choo up top at DH. Elvis Andrus at short. Mazzara in right field. Then it's Beltre. Rougned Odor batting fifth. Jerks and Profar at first. Gallo, Chirinos, and Delino DeShields roaming center field will bat ninth. So Choo, we mentioned 40-game on-base streak, still alive. He's also hit in 11 in a row. It's the longest on-base streak in baseball this year, tied for the longest. You got to go back almost 2 seasons to find one longer. Freddie Freeman, what did he do, like 46 games in 2016? Yeah, toward the end of 2016. There's a ball inside, 1-1, the count to Choo. And look at the Rangers team history. He's just 6 short of Julio Franco's 46. Covey puts a heater in there for a strike, 1-2 the count.
Well, Choo has always been a guy that walked a lot. He gets hit his share of times. And it's not just a hitting streak, it's just getting on base. So any way you get on base counts. And he's walked 37 times in the last 36 games. And when you combine that with during his streak, he's hitting .330. His on base percentage is 46-47%. You can see why he's got this kind of a streak going.
1-2. And Covey off the plate, 97 miles per hour there from the big right-hander. Covey 6'1", 220. And he's just 26 years old. Grew up in Southern California. Drafted and signed by Oakland. He was a 4th-round pick in 2013. Runs the count full, but became a White Sox via the Rule 5 draft. December of 2016. Last year was his first taste of the big leagues. And it wasn't a great one, but he's probably been their most consistent starter this year. Choo will last for time. It's Covey's 9th start this season. Already a good at bat for Choo. 7th pitch of the at bat on the way, and there will be an 8th.
Again, Choo has a very discerning eye at the plate, but during this streak it's been extra discerning. He just really very seldom swings at anything out of the strike zone. He lays off very good changeups that you normally would expect him to swing at, and this at bat is a perfect example of why he's got a 40-game streak going. There's probably 3 pitches in that at bat that many guys in the league, I won't put a percentage on it, but a lot of guys would have swung at in that at bat that Choo just took for borderline balls.
41-game streak now for Choo with that walk.
Get that out of the way quick, and
yep.
Covey had to throw 8 pitches to walk him. Choo saw a lot of pitches and he got on base.
Which means that Elvis also saw a lot of pitches. And he goes right after the first offering from Covey. Andrus at 264. Couple of home runs. Elvis was injured when we were in Chicago back in May. Was on the disabled list. He and Adrian Beltre. The Rangers were down a couple of bodies in that series. It looks like that foul tip got a piece of Marty Foster.
Yeah, for an umpire to stop the game, you know that he's got to be hurting right now. Umpires can hide their pain better than the players do. See the ball come up and hit him. Whether it's foul tips behind the plate, occasionally you'll see an umpire get hit by a line drive. They shake it off pretty well, but this one has to be hurting Marty.
Kevin Harmon, Rangers head athletic trainer. I mean, not a whole lot he can do, but he wanted to get a sense just for how bad it was.
They'll keep an eye on that, no doubt, over the course of the game. And it looks like that's the hand he uses for his clicker. Boy, that.
What a way to start the game. For 3 hours, he's got to call a game in 100-degree heat with throbbing pain in his left hand. That's going to probably be a game that Marty's going to remember for a long time. And hopefully it'll be a quicker game than 3 hours from now.
Covey checks on Chu. And now runs one on the inside corner for a strike, so the count 0-2.
Covey has good velocity, 94, 95 miles an hour, and pretty good movement on that fastball too.
Chu not going anywhere. The 0-2 pitch. That one is through the right side. Base hit. Chu will stop at second. Andrus with a single. The first 2 men on tonight.
Let's take a look at the pitch arsenal for Dylan Covey. A lot of two-seam fastballs. That's the fastball with all the movement and excellent velocity. Sliders his next pitch, and then he'll mix in a changeup, a curveball, and a four-seam fastball as well. But pretty much you're going to see a fastball when you come to the plate. And it's one thing to look for a fastball, but he has the potential to be tough even if you're looking for his fastball, because he's got good velocity and pretty nice movement on it as well. And nice at bat for Elvis. Elvis remarked the other day he thought it would be easier for him to regain his stride and his timing. It's taken him a little longer than he expected, but last couple of games he started to hit the ball to right field, starting to look more comfortable, and looks like he's starting to find that rhythm and timing now.
Mazzara takes one a little bit low for a ball. Nomar's had a couple of days off. Yesterday was an off day for the team, and he did not play in Wednesday's game. Tuesday he had 3 hits. That matched a season high for him, but he left that game early with a little tightness in his hamstring. Comes up empty here. 1-1. Last 9 games, Nomar has been in a pretty good groove. 5 multi-hit games in there, 9 RBIs, and he leads the team with 51 RBIs. That's 10th most in the league. That makes this a pretty good spot for him. Gets ahead 2-1. He's got Chu at second, Andrus at first.
Covey's overall numbers look pretty good. 3-2, a nice ERA, 3.45, less hits than innings pitched. Command has been deserting him a little bit lately, though. In his last 2 starts, he's only thrown 9 innings. He's walked 9.
Little comebacker, and he gets up to grab it, to throw out Mazzara for the first out of the inning. But everybody moves up a base.
And Ward, the third baseman, number 29.
Now, one of the things about Covey is you want to get to him in the first or second inning. That's where he's had some trouble. ERA of 4.5. After that, he settles in to be one of the better pitchers in the league. A lot of base runners early. Teams able to put pretty good swings in spots like this with runners in scoring position. If you can make him work early, maybe get a couple of early runs on him, that's certainly a real possibility.
Mentioned he's thrown only 9 innings in his last 2 starts. He's thrown also 160 pitches in those 9 innings. And walked 9 in 9 innings. So he's been having a problem with his command.
Deals with a tough hitter here. Beltre, 313 for the season. Just his 52nd game. And a turn and a throw back to second. And Andrus is out. Wasn't even close. Not sure he ever got back to the base entirely. So a pickoff goes 1-4, and there are 2 away.
Yeah, Elvis is an excellent base runner with great instincts, and you can probably count on one hand the amount of times where he's had a base running decision like that. He was just surprised by the pickoff play. Did not expect Covey to wheel and throw to second base.
1-1 to Adrian Beltre. We've been talking so much about Chu in the stretch that he's in right now, but Beltre has reached base safely now in 14 of his last 28 plate appearances. So that's a 500 on base average during that stretch. Lofts this one out to second base. It's hauled in by Moncada. The inning is done. The Rangers had second and third one out, but can't get anybody in. We've played one and we're scoreless. Kubota power stats. Rangers starting pitching. How about this last 8 games? 5-1 record at .220 earned run average. 5 quality starts in there. And just man by man in this rotation, they have all done their job and done it well lately. Bartolo will be on the mound tomorrow. Here's Polka. Daniel Polka, the designated hitter, and he takes ball 1. It's been a struggle lately for the left-handed hitter. Polka hitting just 175 in his last 20 games. His overall numbers not bad. He does, when he makes contact, usually pretty loud. He hits this ball hard but foul. 1-2. Gallardo very efficient in the first inning. Just 10 pitches needed. Gives that one a little high. 2-2. Polka was a 3rd-round pick in 2013 by Arizona. Ooh, and he lays off a very good pitch right there.
Trying to hit the inside corner. Pretty close. Almost hit the inside corner. Threw it where he wanted to, just a little bit off the plate.
This one popped up left side of the infield. We'll see. Elvis. He handles it. 1 away. Short discussion on this one. Oh, you stay on your side.
Adding fifth, the catcher, number 36, Kevin Smith.
We haven't seen a whole lot of that this year.
Elvis, on those, Elvis is not he's not 100% sure if Adrian's going to come over to catch it or if he's just going to come over and kind of linger in his space. And so there's a little bit of apprehension as the ball's coming down as you try to concentrate on catching it. So even though they didn't have smiles on their face, that's not any kind of a confrontation. That's just the way they do it.
It's one of the great acts in baseball when those two start playing off one another the way they do. 2-0 the count to Kevin Smith. Boy, Smith 7 for 13 with 5 RBIs against the Rangers. Takes one for a strike.
Yeah, Smith hit .283 for the White Sox last year and 275 at bats, and in the minor leagues and almost 2,000 at bats. He's a .285 hitter, so he's been a pretty solid hitter ever since he came into professional baseball.
Well, this is just his 15th game of the year, but he has hit safely in all but one of the games in which he has played this year. Gallardo, his 2-2 pitch. Bouncer left side of the infield. Beltre takes this one, and he throws out Smith for out number 2. And a nice shadow on that one, too. Well, the first 15,000 fans to the game tomorrow going to get a Roogie and Smokey the Horse bobblehead, courtesy of Golden Chick. Rangers and White Sox in an 8:05 game. Take note, a little bit later than usual. You're not going to want to miss out on this one. Roogie and Smokey the Horse. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. So now Yuri Garcia, and he fouls one off. Garcia getting a start tonight at third base. He has been playing in the outfield. Switch hitter. It takes way off the plate, 1-1. Well, 5-game hitting streak going for Garcia, and another guy who has spent some time on the disabled list was back off the DL a week ago. And swing, and misses. Strike 2. Looks like coming off healthy has done him right. Garcia strikes out swinging. Third strikeout tonight for Giovanni Gallardo. 2 very strong innings to start. We've played 1.5.
Defense.
In the outfield, Charlie Tilson is in left. Adam Engel, very good defensive center fielder. Avisail Garcia is in right. In the infield, Leury Garcia gets the start at third. Tim Anderson, Yoan Moncada up the middle. Jose Abreu's at first. Behind the plate, Kevin Smith.
Odor, first pitch swinging, hits this one on the line, deep to right field, gone! And that one wasted no time. Odor's 4th home run of the year, and the Rangers lead 1-0.
Rugi is working hard. Obviously got off to a slow start. He's been trying to be more patient. He's trying to bunt. He's trying to use the whole field. His bat is quicker. His stroke is a little shorter. And he turned on that 94-mile-an-hour fastball and hit a rope to right field. Line shot. And making excellent progress. The other thing I've noticed in this homestand, and probably more than just this homestand, he's out early every day working on his defense too. Tony Beasley, I've seen him out hitting ground balls. Rugi fielding balls on both knees, doing all sorts of different drills defensively. So he is working hard in all facets of his game, and it's showing now too. Making nice progress. And over 100 at bats now. He's hitting over 260. So his average is up. He's not walking a lot, but he's walking a lot more than he was. And the power is starting to come along slowly but surely too.
You know, Tom, he's taken his fair share of criticism over the years, and it was a tough start for him. I'm not sure that we appreciate, or that, generally speaking, that we appreciate how hard it is to do what he has done this year, which is, I mean, he's really made big adjustments to his game in season at the big league level, and they're working. I mean, that's just not that easy to pull off.
No, and you know, his power numbers have probably suffered a little bit because of it. And the other thing that makes it hard is you look at what he's already done in his career. He's had some pretty good seasons. He's hit over 30 home runs in a season. And so if you're the player and you've hit back-to-back seasons with 30 home runs, you've knocked in 88 runs. One of the seasons you hit 271. You know, the thought is, wait a minute, I don't know that I want to change anything. Moncada can't find the handle on that one. He might have bobbled that about 5 different ways. Finally picked it up and still bobbled it. And so, you know, the motivation to change at first has probably got to be a little bit dubious. I know it would be for me if I'd had those 2 kind of seasons. But to be the kind of player that he can become and to make the improvements he needed to make, you're right, Dave. He's been willing to do it in season. And for the player, it's nice to see some results, give you the feedback you're looking at. When you're making changes like that in the big leagues and you're not getting the results, it's hard to stay motivated, but he's seeing the results now.
The defensive struggles for the White Sox continue, by the way, with that error.
We talked, you know, just the last few games, he's hit several balls hard to left center field, trying to hit the ball back through the middle and left center field. Nothing to show for it. They were caught. But nevertheless, they were really nice at bats.
Gallo watches a ball 1-1.
Now let's see how many different ways Moncada bobbles this ball. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, you almost have to smile after that. And I think the frustrating part about that, if you're the guy bobbling the ball, is that was not a hard ball to begin with.
Well, that's his 13th error. And the White Sox, as a team, not very good defensively. I mean, neither of these teams have done much defensively to write home about, but that is the 61st error of the season for the White Sox. The only team with more, the Rangers, they have 62.
And something to remember on Moncada is he's only 22 years old. He has been one of the top 5 prospects in the minor leagues for several years. Was a huge piece to the trade for Chris Sale, who went to the Red Sox. Moncada and Michael Kopech, a pitcher, and top 10 or 12 in all of baseball as far as prospects go. So he's obviously a player with a great deal of talent, trying to learn how to play in the big leagues, though, at the age of 22.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even been up for a full year yet. Was called up last July to make his debut. So yeah, there's still a lot of newness to his game, but frustration after that one, no doubt. Profar over at first. Gallo waiting on a 2-2 pitch. Here it comes. Profar's running, and that one's fouled away. Well, Gallo, a guy who, like Odor, has been trying to make some adjustments. Been slower to come, and the, I guess, the positive feedback has been slower to hit his line. 114 strikeouts this year. That's most in baseball. Power number is still there for Gallo with 18 long balls. It's a full count. You and I were talking earlier this afternoon, Tom, that both these teams might do a little running. Kevin Smith, the catcher for the White Sox, 0 for 11 this year throwing out base runners. Profar has chosen his spots wisely. Ooh.
A little stutter step there. Well, he was on his way to second.
And there you see the numbers for Smith. We were talking earlier about his good bat and the numbers that he has produced at the plate. Behind the plate, it has been more of a struggle for him. 3-2. Profar's running again, but that's ball 4. So Gallo walks. Second walk issued tonight by Covey. Rangers have 2 base runners in the second inning.
The White Sox have a pretty young rotation. Chances are they're not totally adept yet at holding runners and varying their delivery to the plate, getting it to the catcher to give him a lot of time to throw people out. And no matter who the catcher is, unless you're Pudge or Jim Sundberg, maybe, you got to have a little help from your pitcher too. There's Pudge. Looking forward to Texas Live opening with Pudge's Pizza Parlor.
Yeah.
Be a nice gathering spot before Ranger games, or any other time for that matter. It's going to be open all the time. Went down for the announcement of that the other day, and they had some samples.
I was going to say, you got a chance to taste a little, right?
Sure did.
And Pudge told us the other day they're all good. And what kind do you like? Doesn't matter, because every pizza we make is good. So there you go.
Pudge is a meat lover, though. He said he preferred the sausage and pepperoni.
Here's our look at Texas Live.
That's going up fast. Going to open in August, right?
Yeah, August, the grand opening, mid-August, roughly. Profar at second, Gallo at first. It's 1-2 on Chirinos.
I wish you could see what this area looked like in 1972 when the team first came here. For the most part, all this, not where the ballpark is, but around it, was woods. On the other side of the street, I believe there was a hotel, some apartments that are not there anymore, car dealership, but other than that, not much. There was nothing on the west side. Remember a gas station on the corner, and as you turned the corner to come down to the ballpark, there were woods. You couldn't even see most of the ballpark from there.
1-2 pitch. Slow roller. Foul again. Was that the gas station that would have the long lines?
The Rangers bought this gas station. It was during the energy crunch, where you did have long lines, and to avoid that, Bob Short bought a gas station. But that that problem was quickly solved, and as you got into the beginning of the season, it was no longer a problem. So I guess he probably sold it after that.
Chirinos hooks this one high in the air, deep to left field. This one is gone. Chirinos with a big fly again. Number 11 for Robbie. It's 4-0 Texas.
We're talking about the progress that Rugi's making, and Robinson is heating up a little bit as well. Coming into the game, that's a hanging changeup right there. He was 6 for 13 with a couple of home runs. He knocked in 6 runs in those 4 games. And he adds a home run and 3 more in this ball game. The error on Profar's ground ball kind of opened up this inning to some more runs after Rugi led off with a home run. So 2 home runs and 4 runs in for the Rangers. And still nobody out. 37 pitches for Covey.
DeShields now batting 9th. 226 average for the season. But that doesn't really tell the story with Delino, as he has really done a much better job lately. In fact, the last 14 games, DeShields is hitting .313. He had a good on-base streak going recently as well. 1-1. And strike 2.
Now the west side of Collins Street, I remember in the early years, the early 70s, there was a miniature golf course over there that you really couldn't go to after 8 o'clock at night because there were so many mosquitoes. That's where the Lincoln Square shopping center is right now. There's a Fridays over there, all sorts of things over there now, restaurant, shops. None of that was there.
Just a bunch of mosquitoes.
A lot of mosquitoes and occasionally miniature golf if you wanted to play. I-20 hadn't been built in South Arlington. There really wasn't much past Arlington High School as you go south. So it's pretty dramatic what's happened here from the time the Rangers got here in 1972 to the present. And Texas Live is going to put an exclamation point on it.
Well, DeShields does it again. Base hit up the middle.
Talking about Chu's streak, let's look at the first at bat and you'll see why he's got that streak. He takes a strike, takes a close pitch. Now it's 1-2. Watch the pitches he takes. He fouls one off, takes a close one, just barely a ball. Then he throws a good changeup, doesn't even begin to swing at it. Fouls off a tough pitch and takes a borderline pitch down and away. That's a guy who's seeing the ball well, as calm as can be at the plate. And when you're going through that kind of a streak, you often hear the hitter talk about how the game slows down a little bit, the ball looks a little bit bigger, and you just go up to the plate knowing that you've got a great chance to hit the ball hard and find a hole, because you don't have to worry about swinging at bad pitches. He had a chance to swing at several pitches that were borderline pitches and maybe making out. Instead, he took them and worked a walk. There's just not many players in the big leagues that can do what Chu has done for 40 games. There's guys that can have long hit streaks, guys that might hit for higher average, guys that might hit more home runs. But as far as the overall package of getting on base, Chu is one of the best.
He has already extended his streak with that 8-pitch walk in the first. Time now for a look at our WinStar leaderboard. You talk about runs per game this month of June. Only the Astros, A's, and Red Sox score more per game than the Rangers. This offense has really clicked well. Well, they continue to be distracted by DeShields at first base, and you understand why. 15 steals this year and 17 attempts. Covey really having to work in this second inning. a little bit in. 2-0.
Yeah, the Rangers have had 5 batters, no outs. Profar got on an error. And Covey's going to throw his 46th pitch right here. I don't believe anyone's warming up in the bullpen, but sometime soon, if he doesn't get an out right here, they're going to have to get somebody up.
Two and one the count. Take a look at balls and strikes. That's not a very healthy ratio right there for Covey. He'd given up just 2 home runs this season coming into tonight's start. That's in 44 plus. But he's given up 2 home runs this inning.
As a Rule 5 draft pick, he had to stay in the big leagues last year, which he did. He never pitched in the big leagues before, probably wasn't quite ready to pitch in the big leagues. But after doing that, he could have been sent to the minor leagues this year. The White Sox have given him an opportunity to start, and for the most part, until recently in his last 3 starts, he's done quite well.
Big lead for DeShields.
He almost got picked off right there. You see that slight movement towards second, which would indicate he was going to go. But because of his quickness and his reflexes, he was able to sneak back there.
So Delino will take another lead again. 2-1 pitch to Chu, and he fouls it away. 2-2. Now last year for Covey, required to be in the big leagues all year, and he struggled through a miserable season. 0-7. And then this year lost his first start, or rather his first decision again. His last start, he left early with some sort of hip or groin soreness, and was only cleared on Tuesday to make this start tonight after throwing a bullpen session in which he came away saying everything was fine. They really were not able to diagnose or even pinpoint what exactly it was that was bothering him in that last start that caused him to leave. But he has been their most consistent starter this year. There goes Delino, the 2-2 pitch, high in the air out to center field, but it's going to hang up a little bit. Engel gets underneath it, and DeShields will have to return to first, 1 away. Well, the finale of this 3-game series for the White Sox will come on Sunday afternoon. It's a 2:05 first pitch. Be one of the first fans of the ballpark. Pick up this Rangers Raglan tee, compliments of Hilti. First 15,000 adults will get an adult size tee, and the first 2,500 kids will pick up a youth large size tee. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. So 1 out now, and here is Andrews. Covey again checks in on DeShields.
Well, you can pretty much guarantee Delino's going. The only reason he won't go is because he doesn't get a good jump. But it's in the back of his mind, and Covey obviously knows that.
Decent looking lead, not going. Elvis singled in the first inning. He shot it right past Chu, who was at first base when he hit it. It looks like that one might have gotten a piece of him on the foot or ankle. So he takes a long walk. You'd understand if Marty Foster didn't have much sympathy. Say, hey, listen, I know, happened to me too. Everybody getting dinged up around there. Good pitch. 0-2 the count. That was the 50th pitch of the night already for Covey. He's allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. He's walked 2. He's been hurt by an error. He's also been helped on a good pickoff play that he made in the first inning. That lean. Going no place though. Another fastball. Does throw a lot of heat. Now at 96. 1-2 the count. Well, with the Elvis single in the first inning, extends his modest hitting streak to 4 games. Sits safely in 8 of the last 9 games. Chopper shortstop backing up on it. Anderson has only played at first and he won't get it there in time. Andrews still with very good speed and he beats it out. Infield hit.
Yeah, Anderson had a choice to make. The easy way to catch the ball is to take the step back. That made the throw hard because he's on his heels. It's a longer throw and Elvis runs well. He made the calculation that if he takes the step back, he's going to catch the ball on a hop and he would still have time to get Elvis with a strong throw. Didn't work out that way. Elvis was able to beat it out. And with Delino at first base and the speed he has going toward second, there wasn't much chance to get the force out when he stepped back to catch the hop at second base.
So 2 men on, and Mazzara, who's 0 for 1. A little comebacker in the first inning, takes very high for a ball. We start to get to that point in an inning where it becomes, for lack of a better word, dangerous for a guy.
Yeah, there's no one warming up. He's a young pitcher that has had to jam a lot of pitches into 1 1/3 innings. Sooner or later, they got to get somebody warmed up.
This one hit high in the air. Go, 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 go. Home run! Nomar Mazzara deep to right field. A 3-run shot in the spirit of the World Cup. The Rangers open up a big lead.
Boy, you got me pumped up for my next soccer game after that call.
Couldn't help myself. That was a no-doubter by Mazzara, number 15 of the year for him.
Yeah, you just can't leave this kid out there to dry like this. They've hit 3 home runs. Who knows how many pitches he's thrown. And finally, they're going to get someone warmed up. But unless he gets ready pretty quick, he's not going to be ready. Definitely not ready for this hitter, and maybe not the next hitter. This will be pitch number 55.
He's already over 35 pitches in the inning.
Yeah, Mazzara had something like 16 straight singles. Breaks that streak with a long one.
Ooh. Weigh in on Beltre, 1-1. Three home runs in the inning. Again, he had given up just 2 home runs all year. And this one hit high in the air, out to right field. Won't have the distance. Garcia puts it away, 2 gone. Now the bullpen live looking, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And so just like that, as if they were paying close attention, Tom, Chris Volstad begins to throw in the White Sox pen.
I'm sure this will be, I'm not sure, but it might be a case where even if Kobe strikes this guy out to end the inning, that's probably not going to be in the cards for him to go back out there for the 3rd inning, you wouldn't think.
This is his 40th pitch of the inning, and it misses in. Rangers have batted around. And this one hit sharply and into right field. That's a base hit for Odor, who started things with a home run to open the inning.
You can't leave him in there after that. Yeah, there wasn't much of a hole there between first and second. Ruby had to find it with a sharply hit ground ball, hanging curveball. Great inning for Ruby. Led the scoring off, led the inning off with a home run. Comes up again and gets a base hit. 2 hits in 1 inning.
Well, the beat goes on. Profar, liner out to center field. Engel reaches up and he makes a catch on a well-struck ball. Boy, the inning at long last over for Covey. The Rangers put up 7.
The Rangers used the long ball. Brugge with a solo shot to lead off the inning. Robinson Chirinos a 3-run shot, and then to close it out, Nomar Mazara, another 3-run shot.
Texas on top 7-0. It is Progressive Fan of the Game time. Debbie and Jeff Jackson celebrating, I guess, together your 60th birthdays, and a big anniversary happened. And also, you're kind of having a family reunion here tonight, huh?
Yeah, we are. We got a big family reunion going over in Stephenville tomorrow and Sunday.
Our kids and grandkids are here.
And grandkids and cousins.
Do we have a tally here of how many y'all have?
Oh, 75 or 100, I think. No.
Here, no, we have 8 grandchildren, and then their parents.
We can always count on the wife to tell the truth, right?
Well, you know.
You deserve the fan of the game. I'm going to give it to her because she told the truth.
Okay, thanks.
Guys.
I don't know.
He's just saying how many it felt like were
yeah,
there.
exactly. A matter of perception. A bottom third of the order in this third inning for Chicago, and Anderson fights one off. It's 1-2. Tim Anderson, the shortstop for the White Sox, and Charlie Tilson and Adam Engel. Giovanni Gallardo had to sit down for what was almost a half an hour. That was a 26-minute half inning.
That all?
2-2.
I guarantee it felt like an hour to Dylan Covey. Kid that was out on the mound struggling through it.
Well, that's close to enough time where a guy would almost have to go out to the bullpen to stay warm. Although it's a hot one here tonight. Full count now to Anderson. Three strikeouts in the first 2 innings for Gallardo. Anderson's a .251 hitter, a little bit of pop. He has 13 home runs. Bounces this one though to shortstop. Andrus with a nice backhand and throws him out. 1 away. Right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson.
Batting 8, the left fielder, number 22, Charlie Tilson.
All right, thanks, Dana.
I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks to see what players are going to be trading teams.
Oh, man.
Manny Machado, you have to think Manny Machado is going to be traded. That's going to be very interesting to see who picks him up. You hear Arizona, you hear the Dodgers. I say here, read about it in the newspapers. We don't know anything more than the people watching the game tonight know based on what they read. That's what we know. That's what we read. We don't have any pipelines into the trades.
Well, you
boy, Ivani.
Little comebacker to Gallardo, and he takes care of Tilson. 2 away. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, one of the big stories right now, especially in our division, is this guy, Shohei Ohtani, who has been cleared for batting practice. He's going to be evaluated in about 3 weeks. Now, he's not likely to come back and pitch anytime soon. They're still being pretty cautious with that elbow. We did get this spy camera video yesterday. Sent one of our best out there to sneak in and get that shot of Ohtani in the bullpen. But they're still being very careful. But they've seen positive signs from him.
Yeah, it almost seems like if he's got question marks about his arm, just let him hit. He has great potential in either offensive or offensive or pitching, whichever way he chose to go. He's doing them both, and I have to admit I didn't know that he'd be quite as successful doing both as he has been. It's pretty remarkable. But maybe it's harder to stay healthy if you're doing both of those things too. If you're trying to hit and not in the same routine as starting pitchers are in, maybe it is harder to stay healthy. Who knows?
Gallardo looking healthy, very strong so far. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Engel strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Gallardo. After 3 1-2-3 half innings for him, and the Rangers lead 7-0. The Texas Rangers are teaming up to save lives. Monday, July 2nd, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come on out and give here at Globe Life Park. You get a tour, t-shirts, 2 Rangers tickets. Sign up today. Go to carterbloodcare.org. Carter Blood Care. Giving starts here. All right, Gallo takes a strike from Dylan Covey, out for more in this 3rd inning after a very difficult, very long 2nd inning, and he did not get a lot of rest.
I have to admit, I'm a little surprised to see him out there, but he probably talked his way into going back out there. Manager, I'm sure, asked him how he felt. He probably said great. 60 pitches jammed into 2 innings and over 40 in the 2nd inning. That's a lot.
Corner call 1-2 to Joey Gallo, who walked in the 2nd inning. In fact, it was a 7-pitch walk. One of the longer at bats that Covey had to contend with. 2-2. Gallo 2 for his last 29 over a 9-game stretch. Hitting 125 for the month. Look out. full count. A 7-run second inning. The Rangers hit 3 home runs in the inning. And this ball smashed out to center field. Engel is back. Gone! 4th home run of the night for the Rangers. A solo blast by Gallo. His 19th of the year. And you can make it an 8-0 Rangers lead.
See what he hit. Looks like a 2-seam fastball. Right, Joey's wheelhouse. Tailed away a little bit, but it was up and right in the strike zone. And Joey got the bat on it. Hit it so hard the fan couldn't quite make the ball stay in his glove.
Chirinos with a mighty rip at strike 1. Already a season high in home runs for one game by the Rangers. We're in the 3rd inning. They've only made 6 outs. That one hurt. 0-2 on Chirinos. Chirinos had the home run last inning. One of the home runs last inning. It's been a big part of his game. But this double-digit home runs each of the last 2 seasons. And in 4 seasons with the Rangers, I see Pudge with 217, and Chirinos tied Jim Sundberg with that home run in the 2nd inning.
Well, Covey, in the first 40 innings of the season, he's only pitched 44 innings, but in the first 40 innings, he didn't give up a home run.
Well, that one hit well out to center field. Engel is back, and he makes the catch. Ballpark just held him.
Coming into this game, he'd only given up 2 total, none in the first 40 innings, 2 total, and he's given up 4 in 2 1/3 in this game, doubled his season's output, and almost made it 5. Robinson hit this ball well, deep part of the ballpark though, and Engel was able to run it down. There's been 4 home runs. There's also that ball that Chirinos just hit, and the last out of last inning was a line shot that Profar hit to center field. So there's been some other balls hit hard that have been outs.
Delino takes a strike. He singled as a part of that 2nd inning. 7 runs on 6 hits in that inning. One and one. It is the largest single inning of offensive output this year by the Rangers in that 2nd inning. It was for this year.
White Sox played extra innings last night, and you know, it may be a case where the manager needs to get an extra inning because the bullpen has been used so much. Volstad is well rested, their long man, but maybe the other guys in the bullpen have all been pitching a lot. I think it went 13 innings yesterday.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, you know, you never know what the circumstances are. You just know that when you've got a young prospect out there pitching, struggling with this many pitches, that it takes a toll.
Well, that right there will be enough. So Rick Renteria out there to take the baseball away from Covey. To call it a tough night, a bit of an understatement. He surrendered 8 runs. He's responsible for DeShields. And the White Sox into the bullpen in the 3rd. 85 feet so far for the Rangers. Dylan Covey out of the game. He faced 18 hitters. He retired 6 of them. And so that means Chris Volstad will have plenty of work to do tonight.
Yeah, Volstad has been kind of the long man for the White Sox. Those are his numbers on the season. To throw a fastball, a curveball, and a changeup. Made 1 start this year.
Well, he takes over against the top of the Rangers order. 2 walked in the first inning, flied out in the second. Volstad's first pitch. There's a swing and a high fly ball center field. Engel going back to the wall. Gone! Are you kidding me? It's a launching pad tonight. Chu just hit his 15th home run of the year. A 2-run blast. And it's 10-0.
Well, Chu has had some pretty good swings against Chris Volstad. Here's the swing tonight. Fastball right down the middle of the plate. Volstad's not even watching. He knows where it's going to end up. Halfway up the banking behind there. And a little bit earlier in the season against Volstad, pretty much the exact same pitch right down the middle of the plate near the top of the strike zone. And that was a grand slam. So Chu has enjoyed a couple of pitches from Chris Volstad this year, and the Rangers are just pounding the ball. Only got 1 out in the 3rd inning. They've already hit 5 home runs.
Yeah, so I mean, this is nuts. They've made 6, what was it? Yeah, 7 outs and hit 5 home runs. Pretty good ratio. That was the second. First pitch home run of the night. Odor did the same thing in the 2nd inning. What Chu just did there to Volstad. That one went 447 feet by Chu, so they're now over 2,000 feet of home runs here early. Ball and 2 strikes on Andrews. Having trouble keeping my scorebook up to the minute. A lot of coloring. Foul ball, and Andrews stays alive. Elvis 2 hits tonight. Had the single to right and then an infield hit in the 2nd inning on a high slow chopper to short. Check swing. Nope. Joe West said he didn't go. Well, it's just the 10th game back for Andrews. Just returning from the disabled list with a broken elbow. He's hit safely in 9 of the 10 games. Well, he takes strike 3, so 2 gone here in the 3rd. That's the first Rangers strikeout tonight. So now Nomar Mazara. Three-run homer in the 2nd inning. Volstad puts this one over the plate, and Mazara turns it foul. Volstad's a big guy. 6'8", 235 pounds. 31 years old now. And Volstad, a guy who has been around a little bit, came up with the Florida Marlins back in 2008. Also has pitched for the Cubs, the Rockies, and the Pirates. And breaking ball misses outside. Been a while since we've seen this kind of offensive explosion by the Rangers. 7 in the second, 3 here in the third inning. Bouncer to the right side. That one is handled by Abreu. He'll give it to Volstad in time, and Mazzaro retired. Well, more power on display in the third inning. Joey Gallo with a bomb to center. Shin-Soo Choo hits one of his own. It's 10-0. Items or memorabilia allowed, and you must present a game ticket for that. There she is with Henry and Hot Mess Hattie reading the book. And it looks like a really nice book. It's got giraffe and all the requisite fun kitty animals. We're going to have to find out a little bit more about this. Emily, tell us a little bit more about the book.
Yeah, I wanted to write a book to kind of reinforce the messages that were taught to me as a child to my children. You know, they're at that age where they kind of start learning things from a book and really picking up moral lessons. And so I wanted them to learn the importance of acceptance and inclusion. And I thought a way to hit home with that was for mom to write a book that they could read and that their names were in, they were the characters, their friends were the characters, and that maybe it might be reinforced even a little bit more. Just important things in our house, and I'm really appreciative of the Rangers for allowing me an opportunity to, you know, sign here tomorrow, and it's exciting for me. I had no idea what I was doing, much like a lot of things I do in life, but just kind of figure it out as I went, and it was a fun project, and I'm already working on my next one.
Very cool, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that is awesome. An author. Do the kids get it, Emily? Do they understand that, like, you wrote it and that, like, what that means?
Yeah, so Henry did. So Henry is not quite 7 yet, and so he was the first person I gave it to when I got the books, and he actually read it to me, and then of course I cried like ridiculous mom tears because I was so proud. I was just proud that he read the book because that meant he was reading, and that made me so proud. And then to have him read the words where he was the character that I had written was a pretty special moment. And yeah, they do get it. You know, they're 5 and 7 now, so it's been a fun experience.
Yeah, that is awesome. Really cool. Well, top of the order in this 4th inning for the White Sox. They have had nothing going offensively. And count runs full on Yoan Moncada, Garcia, and Abreu here in the 4th inning. Dave Burchett wrote a book, right?
More than one.
Several.
Yeah.
3-2. And this one grounded down to first but foul. Have you read them? Uh-oh, I'm going to put you on the spot.
No,
right
I
here.
have not read it.
Come on, Tom.
I'm not a big reader.
What was the last book you read? Media guides don't count.
I think it was like in high school, a Superman comic.
See, that is not true because I've seen you drag around these baseball books. What was it? It was Titan of the Industries. What was that one about?
Lords of the Realm?
Lords of the Realm. I saw you reading that.
I've read that for the second time.
See, look, there it is.
That's a long one, too. That's way out of my league. But, you know, I lived through most of the things that happened and played through most of the things that happened in Lords of the Realm. And really, anyone that loves baseball and is interested in the economics of the game, the labor negotiations throughout the course of baseball, it's a fascinating book. It really is.
Garcia lines one to right field. That's a base hit. So the White Sox have their first base runner of the night. This one will get all the way to the wall. And Avisail Garcia going for 3 now. And the throw back to the infield. That'll be cut off near second base. So Garcia turns it into a triple. His first of the year. For the White Sox, they've got a lot of team speed. That's their 23rd triple as a team.
Yeah, Garcia came up with the Tigers, and a lot of people feel like he looks like a young Miguel Cabrera. And last year he hit like Miguel Cabrera. He hit 330 last year. So he's a good hitter. He uses the whole field and a lot of the characteristics that Cabrera has. Long way to go for anyone to be Miguel Cabrera, but
ground ball, second base. Odor right there and throws out Abreu, but it gets the first run of the game in for the White Sox as Garcia trots home from third.
Garcia last year hit 330 at 18 home runs, knocked in 80 runs. Nice solid season for him.
Tom, we're going to get you reading Emily's books.
Okay,
sure.
I think I can handle that one.
We'll start there. That's a nice way to start. I don't know, is Emily still down there? Do we still have her?
I'm here.
Did you read? Have you read Dave's books?
I have. Well, I have one halfway through, but one I read all the way through, and it's called Stay. And if you have ever had a dog or lost a dog, it's so therapeutic. It's beautiful.
Diving, stopped by Profar, and he'll go to the bag to retire Polka. Beautiful defense tonight behind Gallardo as well. White Sox get their first run of the game. It's 10-1. The ballpark on Tuesday, July 3rd. That's right, we're going to have a spectacular post-game fireworks show after Tuesday's game, presented by T-Mobile. Astros in town, that'll be the first of 2 against Houston. It's a 7:05 game. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Beltre leading off this fourth inning and turns away from a good breaking ball there by Volstad for ball one. Adrian's third at bat of the night already. He is lined out and flied out. And the count 1-1. Talking about just how hot this offense has been tonight. Last time they scored 10 or more runs in the first 3 innings was 2015 against the Astros, and they scored 11 runs in that one on August 3rd. High pop up near third base. Garcia wants it, and that's out number 1.
The second baseman, Rougned Odor.
Well, now Rougned Odor, he homered and singled, and he did all of that in the second inning, an inning in which the Rangers sent 11 men to the plate. And with his 2 for 2 tonight, now hitting .306 in the last 10 games. And we've seen that power creep in just a little bit more each passing day, and seems to be back to being a big part of his game again. His 4th home run of the year tonight.
He just is not taking as many wild swings at balls that bounce or pitches over his head. He's much more focused on trying to hit a strike. Doesn't mean he won't chase occasionally, but he's getting better at it. But the other thing that I think he's done is he's shortened his swing. Got the much power as you need. He doesn't need a big long swing. And the short swing that he's taking right now looks a lot better. Wait a little bit longer. Starting to use the whole field.
Grounds out 6-3, and with 2 away, here comes Profar. The Rangers have not been turned back 1-2-3 in an inning yet tonight. Volstad just came in last inning to replace Dylan Covey. He got the final 2 outs of the inning, but not before allowing a home run. Runs that one a little in on Profar. Volstad will be asked to chew up some innings here in relief. Last year, split time between the rotation and the bullpen for the White Sox. Spent a lot of time at AAA as well. As Tom mentioned earlier, the long man this year. One and one, the count on Profar. Jurickson had been really striking the ball well lately, and for the most part he was getting some returns on that. In the last 35 games, he's hit 9 doubles, a couple of triples, 6 homers. 2-1. This one hit hard out to left field. Hanging up there a little bit. Tilson is back, and it's over his head. Oh, Profar with another extra base hit. This one a double. His 21st double of the season, most on the team.
He almost had one to right center field in the second inning. He had a line shot, but Engel had a sprint to run down in right center field. This time an equally hard hit line drive, a pitch tailing away. Exactly what you should try to do with that pitch. Just goes right by Tilson's glove in left center field. Hard hit ball to the warning track.
A base runner on in front of Joey Gallo. It's got a piece of it. Gallo homered his last at bat. He scored 2 runs tonight. And double by Profar, the 6th extra base hit tonight. Most the Rangers have produced in one game has been 8. Certainly would appear there would be a possibility of getting to that number tonight. 0-2 on Gallo.
So I've got to look at the Rugi bobblehead up here. It's the best one. that is the best bobblehead.
That is pretty solid right there. On the horse.
I didn't know he was on the horse. I thought he was just standing next to the horse. Yeah, that's the best one. Looks just like Rugi. Smoke on top of Smokey.
That's brilliant.
On top of old Smokey.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's a beauty. I like that one. Rugi's going to need a lot of those to give his friends and family.
Yeah, and it's not, you know, he really does love horses and he rides them all the time. On the off day yesterday, he was showing me pictures. He took his daughter Emma out to where they keep their 4 horses north of Dallas and took pictures with he and Emma riding the horses all day yesterday.
That's great.
I do wonder how Smokey got top billing. 2-2 on Gallo. Not sure. Get to the bottom of that one tomorrow. That's a good one, though. Rugi having a nice game so far tonight. The Rangers in general having a nice game. Gallo swings and misses. Second strikeout for Volstad. And first 15,000 fans to the game tomorrow. There it is. Rugi and Smokey the horse.
Hashtag hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
10-1 Rangers with a big lead as we go to the top of the 5th inning. This has definitely been a tale of 2 different games, 2 different teams. Giovanni Gallardo has been outstanding. He's faced 1 over the minimum through 4 innings. The only base runner allowed was Avisail Garcia in the 4th inning. Had the triple and scored a run on a ground out. No sign of that. He's hardly broken a sweat. And now the first pitch. Smith bounces it to shortstop. Easy play for Andrews. 1 away in the 5th inning.
Third baseman Garcia.
All right, time for a word from our friends at Southwest Kia.
At Southwest Kia, we've made car buying easy. $250 down delivers, monthly payments $250 a month or less. SouthwestKia.com.
All right, here's Garcia, Leury Garcia. And he takes one outside. Garcia, .293 average. He struck out in the 2nd inning. A couple of guys on this White Sox team with connections to the Rangers, and Uri, one of them, played with the Rangers in 2013. Joaquin Soria out in their bullpen. The third base coach, Nick Capra, played here. This one ripped foul.
Ooh, be careful down there.
2-1 the count.
Gold Glove infielder would have a hard time catching the carom off that wall on a ball hit that hard.
One out, nobody on here in the 5th inning. And this one hit high in the air out to center field. Fairly routine for DeShields. 2 gone.
Yeah, this is a really good game for Giovanni. He hasn't had to throw a lot of pitches. He's thrown a lot of strikes. He's had a real good cutter in this game. Not a slider, but a cutter. It's that fastball's been 91, 92 miles an hour, and the cutter has been right around 89 or 90 miles an hour. And he had excellent command with it. No walks, 5 strikeouts in the game.
Easy to say. This is best start with the Rangers this year. His 3rd start with the Rangers. 32 years old. Of course, a former opening day starter back in 2015. Grew up right nearby here. Fort Worth, went to Trimble Tech. Was ahead of Anderson 0-2. Well, he made his name with the Brewers. 2nd round draft pick by Milwaukee back in 2004, and then set a handful of their franchise records. 0-2. Yeah, he skips that one up there. Most recently had been with Baltimore in 2016, Seattle last year. This year with both Milwaukee and the Cincinnati Reds, very briefly for Cincinnati with the big club. He was at spring training with Milwaukee but did not break camp with the club. The 1-2 pitch, a foul tip. The last time Gallardo earned a win here at Globe Life Park was at the end of the 2015 season on September 30th in a game against the Detroit Tigers. A career winning record here and an ERA a little above 4. Tim Anderson 0 for 1. He grounded out in the 3rd inning. Speedy shortstop. Some power in that bat. Hits this one up the middle. Odor with a good backhand. Long throw in time. And another 1-2-3 half inning for Giovanni Gallardo. Halfway there, it's 10-1. smiles today after all the home runs. 5 home runs, and each one gets at least 1 smile. Leading 10 smiles to 1 so far here today. Trinos now 5 straight games with at least 1 extra base hit. That's just the thing. The average has been low. Home run tonight, though. But man, he has been driving the ball, so they're not always falling in for hits. But his at-bats are productive. He's well above league average with his .323 on base coming in. Hits this ball in the air down the left field line. That one heading foul, just out of play.
Out of 40 hits, 21 have been extra base hits, 19 have been singles. Kind of like Joey Gallo.
Very much like him, yeah. The home run pretty much a no-doubter, a 3-run blast in the second. It was a little bit more of a majestic home run, kind of way up there, soaring out to left field. Might as well take another look at it. It was fun.
That's a hanging breaking ball. That pitch didn't have much of a chance of success. It's a velocity 98 miles an hour.
And watches strike 3 here. 1 away in the 5th inning.
The center fielder, Delino.
Time for a 7-game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson. Wow. 8-1. Thank you, Dana. There's Delino DeShields. He's been on twice tonight. Kind of interesting that rivalry, Boston and New York. I heard this little tidbit today about those two. It's always been a very good major league rivalry. It's the latest in the season. Well, the only time that this late in the season, I guess you could say, the two teams have gotten together where both of them have a better than .650 winning percentage. I mean, Boston leading the division by a game, .671 winning percentage. New York .667 winning percentage, just a game back. The two teams competing for the same division, playing excellent baseball. 0-2 on DeShields. It's been a little while since that has been, as meaningful a rivalry, I guess. It's been almost, what, 10-15 years. Count stays 0-2. The early aughts, the 03, 04 range roughly, when the Yankees and Red Sox were still battling it out every year down to the wire. Off the plate, 1-2. Well, Volstad finished up the 3rd, pitched the 4th inning, and now working here in the 5th. And he leads Chicago's bullpen with 34 innings pitched so far this year. Goes 2-2 on DeShields, and Delino's making him work.
Delino's been on base a couple of more times. Scored a couple of runs. His last 20 games, his on base percentage is over .420. Kind of like Rugi in one respect. He got off to a pretty good start. He slumped, but he's kind of digging his way out of it now. 283, 290 average, .425 on base percentage in his last 20 games, and add to it right there.
And the 8th pitch of the at-bat, singles to right field. Delino 2 hits and a walk tonight.
Designated hitter, Shin-Soo Choo.
that pitch in the right field. 2 for 2 with a walk. Scored a couple already. Chu's had a pretty good game himself. He walked to lead off the game for the Rangers. Kept his streak alive in his first at bat and added a 2-run homer. Dead center field.
This one bounces away from Smith, but DeShields holds. Yeah, Delino, Chu, doesn't really seem to matter these days. Everybody's getting in on it. The Rangers since June 16th, second best record in baseball at 9-2. Average has been up there. Average with runners in scoring position, the best. And a team 366 on base average, second best in baseball. Things have been clicking lately, and now Chu ahead 2-0.
And those were numbers coming into this game, so they've only increased.
Been a nice little run. Volstad. Ooh, gets a call. 2-1. Volstad had to invest a lot of pitches in that last at bat to Delino. 8 pitches before DeShields singled. And now dealing with another guy in Chu who can do the same thing to you, maybe even worse. There's a ball, and it's 3-1. Chu's hitting streak extended tonight. Now the home run his last time up in the 3rd inning. On base streak now at 41 games. Hitting streak at 12. Bouncer left side, only one man over there. That is Garcia. They'll go the short way to second to take care of DeShields. 2 away. I'll take home a little bit of snow this July. Be one of the first 15,000 fans to the ballpark on Friday, July 10th, or rather 20th. Let's make that July 20th. And you'll get this celebration snow globe courtesy of Powerade and Kroger. Indians and Rangers, 7:05 game. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com. Again, that's Friday, July 20th. Let's make sure I have that right.
I was just looking at the on-base percentage leaders to see exactly where Chu was. He's 5th coming into the game at 396. He's been on base twice, so it's a little higher than that now. Mookie Betts is 2nd with a really nice on-base percentage of 425. You know what Mike Trout's on-base percentage is? 460.
Whoa.
For the season.
For the season.
To give you a little perspective, during Shin Su's 41-game streak, his on-base percentage is 465 to 470. Mike Trout's on-base percentage for the whole season is 460.
And that is crazy. He does not get, it's funny, even with the MVPs he's won, the second place finishes he's had in the MVP, he still doesn't get the accolades, the attention that he really warrants.
Yeah, you know, if you believe in war, which seems to be highly regarded as a way to measure the value of a player by pretty much measuring every facet of the game into it, his numbers are historical numbers. You can go back and compare them to any player you want. The greatest players ever. And Mike Trout stays healthy, his numbers will probably exceed many of the greatest players ever.
I'll choose it first with 2 out, and Andrews rolls this one left side. Garcia there again, and he'll go to second base. And they force out Chu. The inning is done. No runs, a hit, and a man left. 10-1 Rangers through 5. Beltray invites you to uncork for a cause on July 22nd at the Meridian, Dallas. The Stone Flight to support the Texas Rangers Foundation. It's the debut of Adrian's 3,000 hit 2015 Sonoma Blend wine, and a limited amount of tickets are available to join Adrian and some of his teammates for this special night. Go to uncorkforacause.com for tickets. Admission includes food and a complimentary bottle of wine. Gallardo goes back to work in this 6th inning. It's the 8 and 9 hitters, Tilson and Engel, and then back up top for Moncada. He's faced 1 over the minimum through 5 innings. Chopper by the mound towards second. And Odor takes care of Tilson, 1 away.
It continues to be a very impressive start for Giovanni. Hasn't walked anybody. The only base runner is Garcia, who tripled in the 4th inning. Scored on a ground ball. And a nice pitch count, too. He's only thrown 61 pitches.
Yeah, I mean, most of his outs, great majority of them have come on 2 pitches. Like, here's another first pitch swing. Out to right field. Mazzara is back near the wall, and he makes the catch. Engel took it about as far as you can that way. But Mazzara got into a good position. 2 gone in the 6th.
And take another look at it. Amara goes back right near the top of the wall. Looked like he had that one gauged pretty much all the way. But in Giovanni's first 2 starts, he went 5 innings and 5 1/3. Giovanni says thank you very much. Appreciate that. And threw 98 pitches and 102 pitches. He averaged 100 pitches in about 5 innings in his first 2 starts. Had 5 walks in those 2 starts. So tonight has been exceptional.
Well, 2 away, and his offering to Moncada a little bit low. 1-1. Moncada is flat out to center. He's struck out looking. Pretty good pitch. But it's 2-1. Moncada with that strikeout. Now 114 strikeouts for him. Gallo has since struck out as well to give him 115. 2-2 the count. Gallardo, 5 strikeouts so far tonight. There's a 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Takes care of Moncada again. Another 1-2-3 for Gallardo, an 8-pitch inning. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the Rangers up by 9. France battles Messi and Argentina at 8 a.m. in Uruguay. Faces off with Ronaldo and Portugal. It's all tomorrow on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports Go app. Boy, they give you some names in these promos. Paul Pogba? That would have been Pogba.
That's what it looks like anyway.
Yeah. So, I just blew right past it. Anyway, it's been fun. Love the World Cup so far. And Omar getting in the spirit with that home run a little earlier. And he lines one out to left field. And that one past a diving Tilson. Nomar will jog to second base. Remember, he came out of Tuesday's game with a little discomfort in his hamstring. Did not play Wednesday. And so wasn't going to try and stretch that into anything miraculous. It's a double from Mazzara.
No, you can tell he's definitely protecting his leg. He's probably going to get a double on this ball, whether he's protecting his leg or not. And you could tell going after the fly ball that he caught. The ball he caught it off the bat of Engel right near the wall, making sure that he doesn't injure that any more than it already is.
Now Beltre, and Volstad turns him away from the plate. Beltre's 0 for 3 on a night where everybody else has not only gotten on base with at least one hit, but everybody else has scored a run. He takes a strike, 1-1. Well, so many nights where Adrian would be the one guy really having a good night offensively. Tonight, just the unlucky one so far, and that one way in. 2-1. Hasn't affected his mood. Now Volstad giving the White Sox some length out of that bullpen tonight. Almost as wildly there. It's 3-1, and check in on their bullpen, and Juan Minaya has begun to loosen up. So Volstad might be ending, or rather nearing the end of his night. Ground ball, shortstop, and Anderson throws out Beltre for round number 1. All right, our TXU Energy Power players to watch tonight. Look at this. The home run distances. This is tonight. 4 home runs over 400 feet. And then Chirinos at 376. Wow.
Rangers have been getting some distance. Profar, for a stretch there, had 3 home runs that all went over 420 feet. Most of the long ones have been going to right field.
Play from Moncada. Odor grounds out. That moves Mazzara to third base. But 2 away.
The first baseman, Jurickson.
Speaking of Profar and some of his massive home runs that he has hit this year, here he comes. Profar tonight 1 for 3. Reached on an error. Scored a run. He's also doubled. Leads the team in triples, leads them in doubles. Profar has now started 61 of the last 63 games for the Rangers, so he has fallen into some regular playing time, even if not necessarily at a regular position. A lot of it was at shortstop, but lately a little third, little first. Rangers got 7 runs in the second, 3 runs in the third. Profar's on base average this year at 321. In fact, he's putting in the lineups today, and I noticed that 7 of the 9 Rangers in the lineup all had on-base averages well clear of league average. League average is like 316. But all these guys. Profar has been probably one of the leaders on this team in terms of putting very disciplined at bats on guys. A lot of very long at bats. Puts this one in the air out to left though. Tilson at about the right depth. Oh, and he dropped it! Flat out dropped it. Mazzara scores. Profar makes it to second. Oh my!
I didn't even see it. I looked down at my scoreboard, my scorebook to finish out my scorebook for the inning, and never even saw him. That was such a routine play. It was one you wouldn't imagine a big leaguer dropping.
I mean, it was in the glove, and he thought he got it.
He's running off the field. He thought he caught that ball. Wow.
That is the second error of the night for the White Sox, and it cost them a run. 11-1, Rangers leading. It also cost the night for Volstad. He is done. Couldn't quite get them through the 6th inning. Rick Renteria back into that bullpen.
On this routine fly ball to left field by Jurickson Profar. But Charlie Tilson dropped it. He thought he had it. He took a couple of steps off the field before he realized he didn't catch it. And if you had to come up with a reason why he would miss that ball, it looked like as the ball was coming down, his glove went right in front of his eyes, so that possibly, you know, the last 10 or 15 feet of that ball coming down, he never saw it, because his glove shielded his eyes. Nevertheless, that's a ball that I think you would expect to be caught. I'd say every time, but it obviously wasn't caught that time. So not every time in the big leagues, but just about. We do have a catch probability on that, which I believe was 97%. I'd have to go with 99 on that ball.
Right, same here. And I've seen some times where we've seen a guy make a decent play. You're like, wow, that was really nice. And then they throw the catch probability up there at 99%. You're like, what? He actually had to make a little bit of a play on that. And then on that one, I mean, that looked about as routine as could be.
I think it was.
And they headed it.
That was so routine. He didn't catch it, and he thought he did. Bounced off his glove, and he took 2 steps like he caught the ball.
So Juan Minaya has come in, and this one gets away, and it's getting away from everybody. Profar goes to third. That one almost ended up at third. That is a wild pitch.
Boy, catcher didn't have a chance to block that one. And for Minaya this season, an ERA of around 5. And if you look at the numbers quickly, you'll see the problem. Problem isn't what the opponents hit against him. They only hit .216, but he's walked 13 guys in 12 innings. That's problematic.
2-2 on Gallo.
Manaea has pitched a lot better, though, in his last 9 relief appearances. He's only given up 3 earned runs in 9 2/3 with 12 strikeouts.
He rushes that one past Gallo. A strikeout ends the 6th inning, but the Rangers add another run, an unearned run. They lead it 11-1. The Astros and Rangers, final game of the series, 6:05 for the first pitch, and then 4th of July fireworks right after the game. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Okay, Gallardo will go to work here in the 7th inning. Nomar Mazara has come out of the ball game. Ryan Rua in right field, and officially the word we were given is Mazara left the game due to a manager's decision, which sometimes that sounds loaded. Sometimes I mean, they're all managers' decisions. I mean, his leg's not that great. We knew that. He jogged out that double. We don't know that it was him coming out of the game as any message as much as probably preservation.
Yeah, I think in this kind of a game, Nomar's had his 4 at-bats. The Rangers have an 11-1 lead. He's obviously nursing an injury. It makes sense to utilize someone else. Ryan Rua is perfectly rested and healthy. Give Nomar a little time off.
Play for Beltre down at 3rd. He throws out Aviseo Garcia, 1 away. Check in with Emily.
Yeah, you mentioned, you guys, a little bit earlier that this is Yovani Gallardo's best start of the season for the Rangers. And when talking to Jeff Bannister about the difference in Yovani, he said he's still patient in his approach and he's still not going to give in, but his pace is more crisp, which can do all sorts of things. We always talk about keeping a defense engaged and how those things can assist not only the pitcher but also the defense overall, and it seems to be working here tonight. But that pace is noticeably crisper, not even just in this start but in the starts he's made so far this season for Texas.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I didn't see the second start, but I saw the first one, and he was definitely working much quicker than I remember him working.
High fly ball out to right field. Rua with an opportunity here. Plenty of room onto the warning track. 2 away.
And the other thing he's doing tonight is he's throwing a lot of strikes. 2 outs in the 7th inning. Has not walked a batter. Only given up 1 base runner the whole game. Pitch count is pretty nice too. 72 pitches. We're almost through the 7th inning. He's got a great chance for a complete game.
Palka now 0 for 2. Takes ball 1.
You know how many complete games the Rangers have had this year?
Well, I'm pretty confident that I know that number. Yeah.
We're looking for our first one.
I mean, we're not the only one, right? I mean, there are a lot of teams without complete game. But how about the pitches by inning here, Tom? The worst or toughest inning was the second, and he had to use a total of 15 pitches.
The White Sox have not had a complete game either. White Sox opponents have had 2 complete games. Rangers have not had an opponent with a complete game as well.
Ball and 2 strikes. Gallardo just keeps coming after guys, and Polka fouls this one back our direction. Stays 1-2.
We were talking about a little bit earlier guys who have hit balls at a certain exit velocity over 115 miles an hour. Polka's one of them. He hit a ball 118 miles an hour this year, had the 4th highest in Major League Baseball. So when he barrels one up, he can smoke it pretty well too.
Well, just does hold back on that one. 2-2. He's among the rookie leaders in the American League in a lot of categories. 7 home runs, 4th most among American League rookies.
14th highest average exit velocity in Major League Baseball.
Out of play, stays 2-2. Polka was originally taken by Arizona in the 3rd round in 2013. A standout player at Georgia Tech, grew up in South Carolina, but then traded to the Twins prior to 2016. Had a huge year in their minor league system, but the White Sox claimed him off waivers last year. I'm very happy to have him now, as this one runs inside. It's a full count.
Giovanni retired the first 10, gave up a triple, and he's retired the last 10.
Payoff. He put Sergeant Polka on the first walk he's allowed today. Big toe. All right, here comes Kevin Smith. Smith with a couple of ground outs, 1 to third, 1 to short. Gallardo, this is just the second time. I was going to say, Tom, this is the second time that he's had to work out of the stretch. I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention in the 4th inning as to whether or not he went from the stretch of the windup after the triple by
I
Garcia.
think nowadays I don't know either, because I don't remember, but I think nowadays most pitchers pitch from the stretch with a man on third base. Go back a ways in baseball history, and there was a time with a man on third base that very few pitchers would pitch from a stretch. They feel more comfortable and can be more successful pitching from a windup. I think now most pitchers will pitch from a stretch with a man on third base. But I can't answer your question. I'm not sure whether he did or not.
Smith gets him for a base hit. Second hit tonight that Gallardo was allowed. Polka third, Smith at first. 2 out in the inning, though, and Yuri Garcia. He struck out and flied out. Fouls that one away. Now we start monitoring the pitch count. Gallardo averaging 100 in his 2 starts. He's only at 83. Which would lead you to believe he's got a long way to go. Now, that said, my guess, Tom, is if he gets to the 7th inning here, let's say a run or no runs allowed in the inning, my guess is that it goes to the bullpen after this inning. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
So he's had really good stuff tonight. Had a nice solid fastball, but a really good cutter, 90 miles an hour, and he's thrown some good curveballs. That last pitch was really good. He had a strikeout on that same pitch that Garcia missed.
Tony Barnett warming up out there. It's a 10-run lead, and there's a swing and a miss, strike 3. This one gets away, but Chirinos able to lob it down to first and take care of Garcia to India. Another scoreless frame for Gallardo. Time now for God Bless America. Let's turn it over to PA man Chuck Morgan.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and direct your attention to the area behind home plate? And welcome back the Strikeout Kings. In honor of all the veterans who have served our country and the servicemen and women who are currently stationed at home and around the world, the Strikeout Kings will now perform God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains and plains to the prairies and on to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America,
Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by GMC. Visit your local GMC dealer. A lot of fun, a lot of smiles so far tonight here for the Rangers, and now Chirinos on the first pitch. This one sharply to second base, but for a ground out. One away here in the bottom of the 7th. 11-1 Rangers lead. Did the damage early. 7 runs in the 2nd, 3 in the 3rd. They added a run last inning, an unearned run. But this one has been a laugher. You look at the in-game box score. Ryan Ruiz just checked in the game defensively. That's why you show him with no hits. Beltre's the only one outside of Ruiz who's been shut out tonight. And DeShields 2 for 2 with a walk. So it's been a very good night for him. Right-hander Juan Minaya with a breaking ball off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rangers with base runners aplenty. But they haven't, it's not like they've been wasteful. They've brought many of them in. Only stranded 5 runners so far tonight. Trying to make it 10 wins in their last 12 games. This one bounces away. It's a strike 3, but Smith didn't get it cleanly, and Delino is on via the wild pitch. Now, Rangers fans, your vote is needed to help get Adrian Beltre, Shin-Soo Choo, Nomar Mazara, and the others to the All-Star game. Go to TexasRangers.com/vote and cast your ballot for whomever you want to be in the Midsummer Classic. Fans who vote 25 times or more will also receive a 25% discount on Beltre, Choo, and Mazara merchandise through July 5th. Voting ends on Thursday, so log on and get those votes in. So 1 out, but DeShields at first via the strikeout wild pitch. And now Choo. Delino looks a little frustrated. He looked that way after he crossed first base safely. Yeah, he's orked. Could it be over the strikeout? Could he be that upset at this? It's striking out.
I wouldn't think so. The Rangers are ahead 11-1, and he's had 2 hits, a walk, and scored a couple of runs. I wouldn't think that would be it.
Yeah, Abreu, oh, dipsy-do over there at first base. He thought about starting a double play. Instead, wisely took the out at first.
Yeah, with a different runner, he probably has a pretty good chance to go to second. It's a hard hit ball, but Delino's got a big lead. No one's holding him on. A good jump, and as soon as Abreu looked to second, he saw that Delino was almost there. Just turned around and stepped down the bag.
So 2 away, and DeShields in scoring position now for Elvis. 2 hits. And he wills this one foul. Rangers has also struck out and reached on a fielder's choice, a 2 for 4. Well, 6 weeks ago, we were in the middle of a series against these White Sox in Chicago, a 4-game series, and the White Sox took 3 of 4. I don't want to say that was a low point in the season for the Rangers, but it was certainly a very disappointing weekend against a team that other teams were beaten up pretty handily, and I think the Rangers felt like they were going to be able to handle themselves, but it just did not work out. Since then, though, the Rangers kind of flipped the switch a little bit. They've gone 18-16 since that weekend. Bouncer shortstop. Anderson throws out Elvis, and the inning is done. Rangers leave another man. Well, Giovanni Gallardo has done beautifully so far through 7, and he's coming out for the 8th. tonight, been working very crisply. And maybe best of all, just 85 pitches through his first 7 innings. So, well, the right-hander looking very sharp tonight for the Rangers. Comes out for the 8th. Gallardo has faced 3 over the minimum. Tim Anderson, the speedy shortstop, leads things off here in the 8th inning. And on the first pitch, rolls it right to Beltre. A couple of bobbles, but does get it there in time. That's not easy to do. Anderson very quick. But 1 away. Time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in again with Dana Larson. Thanks, Dana. Kind of a funky year so far for Bryce Harper. You think it's going to, I mean, he'll probably get to his numbers anyway by the end of the season. But if that average is as low as it currently is that going to affect someone's willingness to pay him hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars?
Probably not. I think someone's going to pay him, but it might make those hundreds of millions a little bit less. The first number in that contract might not be a 4 like people speculate.
This one up the middle. Base hit for Tilson. Just the 3rd hit of the night against Gallardo.
That check wouldn't be written by me, though.
You'd have a tough time.
I'd have a hard time pulling the trigger on that contract.
Yeah, you'd have to have a lot of insurances in place.
I'd pull a contract. You write the numbers in for Mike Trout.
Yep.
But I'm not putting it. I'm not putting it on same numbers on the contract for him. Love to have him on my team. Love the way he plays.
There's a line drive down into the left field corner. Tilson into third base. They'll stop him there on Engel's double. The White Sox setting up shop here in this 8th inning. And here comes Jeff Bannister, so that might just be it for Gallardo. And Banny had the wherewithal tonight, leading by 10, to give him a shot to go out there in the 8th inning. And now they'll give these fans a chance and let them know what they think. Gallardo, the Fort Worth native, and he'll hear it from the faithful tonight, up by 10.
West Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today. Ford is the best in Texas.
What a good one tonight, 11-1. Rangers leading. Great pitching from Giovanni Gallardo and all kinds of offense. So Tony Barnett on here inherits runners at second and third.
On the season for Tony, good solid numbers. 21st game. Nice ERA. Nice strikeout to walk ratio, 25-5. Opponents only hitting 200. Fastball, curve, and a splitter.
Bouncer right side. Profar will grab it and go to the bag, conceding the run. And Cotto retired, 2 away. But the White Sox pick up their second run, and that one does go against Gallardo's line.
A little while ago, Dave, we were talking about complete game, whether Giovanni would have a chance to get a complete game. The Rangers haven't had one. White Sox haven't had one. Well, CJ was watching, and he sent me some interesting information. 15 teams in Major League Baseball don't have a complete game this year. There's a total of 22 complete games. Cleveland has 4. The Astros have 3. They lead the pack. A bunch of teams have 1. A couple of teams, few teams have 2. So not a lot of complete games. Not surprising to find a team without one. 15 teams don't have a complete game.
15 teams. Now the Rangers, they're past the midway point of the season. Other teams are just getting to that point of the year, but that's it's a pretty good statement on where things are with regard to complete games and pitchers being allowed to go deep. 1 to Garcia. And so it's funny because I hear this conversation a lot. We partake in this conversation a little bit, right? Well, you're just not going to see it anymore. Guys just aren't going to be allowed. It's the way the game is. They won't be allowed. They won't be allowed. As if we have decided that they just can't do it and we need to baby them. And there is something to that. Little bouncer up the middle. Grabbed by Andrus. His throw to first. Pulls Profar off the bag. But what a play up the middle by Elvis. That'll be a base hit for Garcia and an RBI.
Yeah, if somehow Elvis could have thrown that ball accurately, which is a pretty tall task, the way he had to go after it and catch it, he might have had a slight chance. But that takes some athletic ability. You know, he's not 5'10" and 150 pounds either. 6'1", 6'2", over 200 pounds to show that quickness, that agility, and almost made that play.
Yeah, that is impressive. But Garcia on. Engel able to score. 11-3 the count, and here is Jose Abreu. I think part of the story on pitchers not going the distance, etc., that maybe we don't talk about enough is just how hard it is to pitch to these lineups today. I mean, these lineups are better. The hitters are better. They take counts deeper. It's just each hitter is appreciably more difficult than they were, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. They're better too.
You know, that's true in a lot of respects, but it's also a fact that they strike out so much. You know, it seems like it's almost every day that someone takes a no-hitter into the 7th inning. And so I think the hitters have something to do with it. You know, if you go back when pitchers had a ton of complete games, there was a pitcher hitting. There were probably middle infielders that weren't strong offensive players. The 7th, 8th, and 9th guys in the lineup generally weren't as strong. There was places where you could get a little bit of a breather in a lineup. That's definitely not the case today. So I think there is something to that. But at the same time, a lot of those complete games that have been thrown over the years, not just in the last few years, but if you go back however many years you want to go back and look at complete games, they weren't being thrown on 95 to 105 pitches. They were being thrown on 115 to 130 pitches. And so it's not just difficult to face the hitters. It's difficult for anybody in any era to throw a complete game in around 105 to 109 pitches. And that's right around where most managers are looking to take the hitters out of the game, the pitchers out of the game.
Indeed, little chopper, and Barnett takes care of it. Abreu's the final out of the inning. But Gallardo, good night tonight. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, up by 8.
by way of the home run. Rugi led it off with a solo shot in the second. Robinson Chirinos followed a little later with a 3-run shot. Nomar Mazara closed out the second inning with another 3-run shot. 7 runs for the Rangers in the second. Go to the third inning. Solo shot for Joey Gallo to center field, and then Shin-Soo Choo, the 5th home run for the Rangers, a 2-run shot 3/4 of the way up on the grass hill behind center field. And the Rangers have pounded the ball and did their scoring early. 10 of the 11 runs came by way of the home run in the first 3 innings. That was our 4-game summary.
And they pounded the ball enough that Matt Davidson, position player on pitching here, and swinging a high pop-up. Foul territory now into fair ground for Abreu. And Rua retired to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
Dave, I will remind you of something you said about 4 innings ago. This has position player pitching written all over it. That was a great call. But it really did. The White Sox played 13 innings last night. They haven't had, I think they've only had 2 off days in the month of June. So their bullpen is tired, and that's why Dylan Covey was asked to try to go that extra inning to save the bullpen an inning or 2 if he possibly could. And now they just didn't want to go any farther into their bullpen, and they're going to go with a position player.
Tochi pinch hitting here for Beltre and fouls it away. 1-1. Davidson had never pitched in a big league game, but he was a high school pitcher. Grew up in California. Two and 1 the count. Third baseman by trade. I suppose it's hard, right? You want to enjoy it. And
one thing
it is
they
your
should
teammate
enjoy,
out there.
it's not them out there right now. They're at least getting the night off, most of them.
You mentioned it earlier too. 13 innings yesterday, and 1 extras, and they had a really tough travel day yesterday as Tochi fouls it away. So, you know, Rangers had the day off. They were here at home, able to relax. White Sox were playing at home. They went 13 innings. That's one thing, was going to delay them getting in last night. But then they had a mechanical problem. They had to fly a plane. I don't know if they were in O'Hare and flew it over to Midway or the opposite. As Tochi lines out 2 away. But they had to fly a plane over from the other airport to replace the one they were initially on. They didn't get in and into bed till like 3 o'clock in the morning last night.
Yeah, that's tough. The Rangers have 5 off days in June. The White Sox only had 2. And Davidson looked like a position player the way he snared that line drive.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Rangers lead by 8, and now Odor swings and misses. Now, would you, as a hitter, would you have, you know, looked forward to a moment like this if you're a guy like Odor?
If it wasn't 2 outs, I'd tell you a story. I've told this story once before, and I'm going to have to change the way I told it because it just didn't come out right. But if this is a ball, I'll try to tell it quick. Back in my last year of playing, I was ending up the season in Tucson, the Rangers AAA team back then, and we were playing a game in Portland. And we were ahead, I don't know what the score was. Let's say it was 18-0. And Tommy Sant was the second baseman for Portland. And they brought him in to pitch with the bases loaded, and I happened to be the hitter. And so, you know, you feel like no matter what you do, you're going to look bad. If you make an out, you can't get a hit off a second baseman, and if you get a hit, big deal, it's off a second baseman. I'll give you the rest of the story when we come back.
A 1-2-3 for Davidson. We go to the 9th. Rangers up big. for tomorrow, middle game of this series. Carlos Rodon tomorrow, 1-2 with a 3.7 ERA. And Bartolo Colon going for win number 245, which would tie him for most wins among Latin American-born pitchers if he can get it. Pregame tomorrow, 7:30. First pitch is 8:05 tomorrow here in Fox Sports Southwest. All right, Tom.
So anyway, Tommy Sant comes into the game with the bases loaded, and I hit a grand slam to make the score like 22-0. Their mascot was a beaver, and the beaver was huge. It was about 7 feet tall. And as I crossed home plate, the beaver jumped on me from behind and tackled me right on home plate. And I couldn't move. This costume beaver had me pinned right into the ground, had mud on my face because I was sweating, and I'm screaming all sorts of words at this guy to get off of me, and the beaver wouldn't get off of me.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it was awful. So the joy of a grand slam turned into horror of lying on home plate with a mascot on top of me. So yeah, that, have I ever hit against a pitcher? That was one time. Well, it was memorable.
That was memorable. I am so glad I asked that question. Matt Moore into pitch here in the 9th inning as Daniel Polka takes the ball 2-1. Tony Barnett finished off the 8th inning, and Moore to try and pitch a clean 9th. Three and one. So can I, from that, can I take it that you would just as soon not deal with a position player pitching?
No, I'd rather not hit off one.
It's interesting. You said you can only look bad, right? Because if you get out, that's not good. And if you do something great, even that is,
you know, some pitchers have some position players were pretty good pitchers. I saw Mitch Moreland pitch in the game, and he came into the game throwing 94 miles an hour in Colorado one night. He was a closer at Mississippi State. Jeff Kunkel came into a game for us. Jeff wasn't a pitcher, but he had a great arm. He came in and was throwing 94, 95 miles an hour. So there's plenty of position players who could have pitched.
Fly out to center field, one away. Gives us time here for a word from our friends at Kia.
At Kia, get America's best value backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
Moore gets the first man he faced. And now Kevin Smith, 1 for 3. Well, the sadness tonight is that social media and video wasn't quite as prevalent when Tom was tackled by a giant beaver after that grand slam. Because I'm not sure. You're talking about that check you would write to Mike Trout and that any sum of money. I'm not sure that there's a limit as to how much I would have paid to see that.
Well, I doubt that you would have had anything close to what it would take to pay Mike Trout, but I wouldn't want to relive it. Let's put it that way. It wouldn't have been bad to just get tackled at home plate, but then it wouldn't get off of me. I couldn't hear him, but I think he was probably laughing underneath the costume.
I bet he was. Strike 3 called on Smith. He goes down looking 2 away.
And if you get mad enough to say fight, which I felt that way.
Sure.
But imagine getting up and trying to like punch out a beaver.
Yeah, no, that's not going to play.
That would have been even worse.
I could see the headlines.
Because what probably would have happened, he would have punched me out. Then it would have been even worse.
Get working on that screenplay a little bit later.
That's something you never see in the big leagues, though.
Hot bouncer shortstop. Andrews throws across the diamond and takes care of Garcia. And that's a crisp 9th inning for Matt Moore. And the Rangers want to make it look easy tonight. 11-3 the final score. What a nice way to open this series against the Chicago White Sox. Lots of home runs, lots of power tonight. And Giovanni Gallardo with an excellent 7 1/3 to start it. The Rangers have won 10 of their last 12 games.
Well, the Rangers had 5 home runs, and that played a huge part in the game. But really, it starts and ends with the starting pitching. And tonight, Giovanni Gallardo was at his sharpest. He had an excellent cut fastball that he used to get strikeouts. He had an effective fastball, 91 or 92 miles an hour, and a really good curveball that he had probably 7 or 8 swings and misses at. There's one right there for strike 3 to Moncada. So an excellent outing for Gallardo. He threw somewhere around 95 or 96 pitches, pitched 7 1/3, ended up giving up 3 runs in the game, but that's a little misleading. The way he pitched tonight was just an outstanding effort.
Well, you could have picked just about anybody out of the lineup today as a hero of the game, but Emily Jones has chosen Rougned Odor.
Absolutely, Rougned Odor, really a complete game for you guys. Started on the mound with Giovanni Gallardo. What did you see from him?
Man, the pitchers, they've been doing a really good job. Giovanni tonight have a great game. He's been pitching really good, throwing a lot of strikes, and that's how we've been winning.
Offensively for you guys, when you get it clicking from top to bottom, how fun is that to be a part of?
Man, it's great. I mean, we've been bottom, we've been doing our job, we've been playing together, and that's why we've been playing so good.
I know this season did not start off the way you wanted. You've been working extremely hard to get back to the player that we know you can be, that you know you can be. How nice is it to see that work paying off?
I mean, like I said, it's not how we start, it's how we finish. And I know I started a little bit, you know, but I'm just been doing a lot of work in my defense and my offense too, and that's why I'm feeling better now in the plate.
And a few weeks ago, you said, I think it was even after a loss, you said you felt something was coming on. What was it you feel like that clicked for you?
I mean, I think I've been looking for my pitch a lot. I've been trying to do my job over there, and that's why I started feeling better and trying to help my team to win.
Well, it'll keep going. We appreciate the time, Rugi. We appreciate it. We'll send it back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Emily, and thanks to Rugi. Great one tonight. Rangers win it 11-3. Dana Larson, Pudge Rodriguez, and Mike Bassick back in the studio ready to break this one down for you. For Tom Grieve, Emily Jones, and our entire crew, I'm Dave Raymond, inviting you to stay with us. Plenty more to come right after this.